Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Tim H. Mills coming to you live from the beautiful streets of downtown Pineville, Kentucky. Hey, thanks for tuning in with Tim. 10 minutes is all anybody needs, I guess. That's my favorite joke to share. Hey, you know what we're doing? We're having a good roundtable discussion. My youngest son, Joshua, and his wife, Whitney, and via telephone from, thanks to the AT&T connection, we have James Stephen and Laura Brown from Spartanburg, South Carolina. James Stephen, welcome to the program.
I appreciate that, Timmy. I'm already close right now. I'm glad to be with you.
Gotcha. Well, we're excited that you're here. Whitney, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having us, Timmy.
All right, and as you can tell, folks, they like to call me Timmy Joshua. What do you want to say?
Well, I'm happy to be here. I know I traveled a long way. It's been worth it, been well paid, had a good dinner, and I think we're getting ready to talk about some eventful excursions we've had as of recent, right?
Well, he's wanting to talk about some excursions, and excursions. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking about like going on a cruise, and you go and buy a excursion where you go see some historical thing, or you go scuba diving, or jet ski riding, zip lining, something along those lines. But this experience that they're wanting to talk about is about kayaking. Is that what you want to say, James Stephen?
Sure. Sounds good.
And so what do you want to say about Tim H. Mills and our great moment of kayaking together? And what river was it that we kayaked, just for the record?
It was the mighty Lost Fork Creek, Timmy. It wasn't really a river.
It was the Lost Force Creek?
That sounds good.
Okay. Well, I guess we just made up that river name. Me and you and a bunch of folks went kayaking.
And Jonathan Burnett.
And Jonathan Burnett.
It wasn't really a bunch of folks. They were just... Yeah, Johnny Boy was there. This was after he apologized.
Well...
No, actually, it was prior to
Was
the
it prior?
apology.
Wait a minute. The listening audience... The listening audience...
He felt sorry for
Stop. The listening audience has no idea what Jono apologized for. But let's go back to the kayaking. So kayaking is me, you, James Stephen, Joshua,
Flick,
and Jono. Flick, that's his last name. I don't even know what Flick's real name is.
He doesn't either. He's Secret Service. He can't divulge his
Flick, Secret Service. He in the United States military. NSA guy. He's a great guy. And James Stevens, a probation officer.
He's currently hunting for Mr. Snowden over in Ecuador.
I think he's in Russia, but that's in the Soviet.
That's why you're not in the know.
Yeah.
He has connections with Mr. Snowden?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what's happening.
Well, he was his pastor.
You know Mr. Snowden, Timmy?
No, I don't know Mr. Snowden.
He knows him personally. They're best friends. Just
No.
like with Jimmy Rose.
Oh, yeah, Jimmy.
Oh, now they're bringing up Jimmy Rose, a great guy from Dorton Branch.
Back
Jimmy's a
to
super
the
guy.
kayaking.
Everybody make sure you watch Jimmy on America's Got Talent. It's a lot of fun. That's what we do. Cole keeps the lights on. It does certainly here in the mountains of southeastern Kentucky.
Vote yes for Jimmy.
We all voted yes. We've all liked his page. He's got over 60,000 likes. That's pretty good for a guy from Dorton Branch. Cannot beat that at all. So here we are. What do we want to say about the motivating, positive experience of kayaking? I mean, because 10 with Tim is about motivation. So what are we going to say happened?
Well, bonding time is always really good. On the river is always a lot of fun. This particular evening, it was the waters were a little high. And after assuring your host here that he would not get his feet wet because they were double wrapped in trash bags over a pair of Rockies.
See that picture on Facebook. Can you not? Is that picture on Facebook?
Yeah, there are pictures on Facebook about my shoes being wrapped and duct taped to make them not get wet. That was Joshua's.
I just want the audience to know that you really did get in a kayak with holes in the bottom of it just like that.
Yes, I really did get in the kayak, had holes in the bottom. The problem was, as we went down the river kayaking, James Stephen thought that the holes in the kayak, when you sat down in the seat, it would plug the holes in the kayak. That's what he thought. But that wasn't the case, was it, Mr. Brown?
No, you obviously weigh a little bit more than I thought.
How does my weight have anything to do with it?
I think what we thought was that you would plug the kayak when you sat down there.
Well, that didn't happen. I've lost a lot of weight. Apparently, I wasn't able to use the seat to properly plug the holes. The water kept coming in. They kept giving me this hand pump, and so as I was going down the river, I'd be pumping out all the water. It was quite a sight to see, and I know Joshua had a lot of laughs, right, Joshua?
Oh, it was nonstop, over and over and over, as you flipped and flipped and flipped and bubbled and bubbled.
Well, I'm not the only one who flipped their kayak, though. I mean, I think that I recall clearly some other folks who also had that wonderful experience.
Oh, you're correct. We all flipped at one point or another, mostly because we were laughing as you were tumbling in the water. Is that right, Mr. Brown?
I believe that's correct, and I believe Timmy spent more time in the water than in his kayak. And I do remember quite vividly Timmy's little lips quivering.
Wow. So basically this 10 with Tim is laughing at me kayaking, and you're stating what you want to be a fact, that I spent more time in the river than in the canoe, and that you all were flipping in the kayak, not the canoe. Yes, thank you, Whitney, for the correction. In the kayak, you all are saying you were flipping in the kayak because you were laughing at me, right, Joshua?
Well, we didn't want you to feel alone. Again, going back to my original statement.
Oh, so that's a great thing. So you were.
We didn't want you to feel like you couldn't do it. You know, it's like the Special Olympics. You know, we took you on a kayaking Special Olympics trip.
Wow. Well, if I did that, I wasn't quite sure that it was a Special Olympic event, but
Did you get a medal?
As I understand it, I wasn't there that night, but I heard
this is my daughter-in-law Whitney talking.
I heard there were some other events taking place too. Mud wrestling by chance.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah, there was
Curtain mud wrestling.
Oh yeah, there was all kinds of stuff happening. Mud wrestling came after the excursion of kayaking down this Lost Fork River somewhere in Spartanburg County, South Carolina.
So, Brown, you can take that mud wrestling.
So, yeah, well, we can skip the mud wrestling.
No, I think we need to talk about it.
Well, there's nothing motivating about mud wrestling unless it was therapeutic mud.
Well, again, it was bonding.
It was bonding?
For Stephen Brown.
Absolutely. It was a little bit of tension release for Mr. Brown and a little bit of alone time with you and the mud.
Oh, okay. Well, there you have it. That's a motivating factor, I guess. After you go kayaking, you go and don't jump in the mud. Be thrown in the mud and wallered. Maybe we'll use that country word, and maybe the folks up north will say, what in the word's a wallering? It's kind of like a whooping. You know what I mean?
You can picture it.
But, yeah, you can probably picture. Looked like I'd been in a mud bath for sure after that excursion. Not exactly what I'd planned on.
With his new shirt on.
Yeah, had a new shirt on.
Jimmy, can you recreate the noise that you made when you went into the water the first time?
No, I probably can't recreate that noise. I mean, it'd probably be nice to try to recreate it, but I don't think there's any way possible that I can recreate that noise. I just don't think it's possible.
What did you learn from that experience, Jimmy?
I learned, James Stephen Brown just asked, what did I learn from that experience? Well, it's real simple. I learned never go kayaking with you guys again. But I really did it to have a bonding moment with Joshua and with you guys, but I probably won't go kayaking again. That's probably officially for the record.
Well, I can recreate that sound he made when he first went into the water.
Oh, Joshua says he can recreate sounds.
It went.
That's a lawyer for you.
It went.
Joshua, Well, ladies and gentlemen, I don't quite remember it that way, but, you know, it is the way they had it. So here we are. We're in our final minute of 10 with Tim. Whitney, what do you want to say?
Have fun. Be adventurous.
Well, now, you know what, Whitney, honestly, that's good advice for motivation. I mean, have fun, be a little adventure, get outside the box a little bit. What do you think?
I think so.
And, Joshua, you have any last motivating advice?
Have $1 million experience, but don't pay $1 million for it.
You know, that's probably a good quote. James Stephen, you have anything you want to share with us?
Yes. I have a new invention coming out. Well, actually, you have a new invention coming out soon. We have a new invention coming out soon. Maybe we can talk about it in our next
Episode? Well, that's what we can do. This is Tim H. Mills. I'm glad to be your host on 10 with Tim. And you've been listening to my daughter-in-law, Whitney, and my youngest son, Joshua. And on the phone, James Stephen Brown and Laura, although Laura's not said anything on the program. Hey, connect with us. Follow us on Twitter, TH Mills. Send us an email, tim@timhmills.com. And until the next 10 minutes, we'll see you then.